right. Thank you all for watching. I am here with Sean Malone with Crisis Response International, and he's going to tell you about what his organization does and how they make an impact all over the world. So go ahead, Sean. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, great to be with you, Emma, and so grateful for you and all that you do. And you've brought together so many different churches and ministries together in so many different places. And yeah, it's awesome. It's really, really needed. So, well, Crisis Response International, we train and mobilize people to disaster situations around the world. You've all watched news reports or, reports on our computers or whatnot. And, you see the tornado, you see the earthquake, you see people in the midst of crisis, and that thing that rises up in you that says, I wish I could help. I wish I knew the right people, or how do I get in to the disaster? Well, way back when we felt that too. It was during 9/11 when the towers came down. I was originally from New York, and I ended up responding and doing emergency lighting. And after that event, I just really wanted to make a way for people to mobilize to disasters, but I knew they needed to be trained. And so that's what we've done. We've trained about 10,000 volunteers. They've gone through our training program, and we've literally mobilized around the world to all the major disasters that have happened since 2007.
That's awesome. And I've heard that you've got a new training ground in Virginia. Is that right?
We did. Really early on, we knew that we would need like a training facility or a training camp, because the way we do our training is that you can come and you stay on site, and it's not really in a classroom. We do classroom type stuff, but we really get hands-on, and we train medical people, we train chaplains, we do search and rescue, we train people how to cook food, and all different things, all these different aspects. And so we do that live. We also train people online as well, but we have a brand new 85-acre facility in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. It's so beautiful. We're so grateful. It's so amazing. We've just had it about a year now.
Wow, that's awesome. I remember seeing videos on Facebook, just raising the funds and just being amazed at how God provided. So I'm excited for you guys, and
Thank you.
hopefully you'll be able to get back to normal eventually. But I know that you're also doing some training online. Is that correct?
We are. We have what we call Cry Academy online, and we've had that up and running for a couple of years now. But what we've done in the midst of COVID-19 and these last couple of tornadoes is we've made that available for free online. And we literally have had thousands of people go on and take the online training for free. And so this is great crisis response training, how to listen, how to be a good listener in the midst of crisis, how to look for signs of symptoms of stress and trauma, how to talk to a neighbor who might be going through a divorce or somebody who's gone through a car wreck. I mean, literally it can be used on that scale, but it's really to prepare people to go into disaster situations and be able to minister and to really meet the practical needs, but reach and meet the more urgent spiritual needs as well.
That's awesome. So if they want to train to be a chaplain, what is your website to check that out?
Well, we train both what we call responders. There are trained volunteers,
Okay.
and you can go on to our website, criout.com. That's criout.com. And it's a 10-hour training course. And we hit it from many different angles, a lot of different crisis response ministry, and there's some chaplaincy ministry in there as well. But if you want to actually become a chaplain, there's additional training as well, advanced training skills, and they're online as well. And so our basic volunteers, we call them responders. That's a 10-hour course. And then we have literally hundreds of hours of training in lots of different areas, but chaplaincy is one of them as well.
Okay. Awesome. So how has COVID-19 kind of changed the course of how you're responding, or has it, or what ways has it made it kind of expand?
Well, first and foremost, this is an unprecedented event that the world is going through, and particularly the church. There's really unique challenges, and to watch people go through this, just even, Christians and our own volunteers, everybody's having different responses with that. And so that's been really amazing to watch and help walk people through that. You have on one extreme, people who are very fearful, and then you have on the other extreme that, this isn't real. And to watch all of those different dynamics going on and process that and watch what's going on in our government, it's really, really interesting. But we still deployed. We deployed to the Nashville tornadoes just as this was kind of breaking out right before it went on, on to lockdowns. And just last week, we deployed again to Tennessee, to Chattanooga in the wake of these terrible tornadoes that went across the United States through Mississippi and whatnot. And so, I think one of the hardest things for really compassionate volunteers is, trying not to give a hug to somebody who's lost everything. Literally, the neighborhood we're working in, 300 homes were destroyed. 90% of them will be bulldozed. And so we're just, helping homeowners box up belongings and keepsakes and picture frames and wedding pictures and things like that. And to resist the urge to hug somebody, and working with masks, and our people got rashes all over their faces from the N95 mask. So it's really an unprecedented thing. But, as a response organization, we don't want to become part of the problem. And meaning we certainly don't want to spread the infection in any way, shape, or form. And, despite where we may be on the faith spectrum, like we shouldn't fear this, and, we're going to be totally okay, to, those who are fearful, we're just really just trying to do the best to cover all of our bases, to keep our people safe, to keep the people that we're serving really safe. We're actually out there serving meals as well, in addition to debris removal and whatnot. But it's definitely a unique challenge. It's a unique day. And but our people are doing amazing, and we're just seeing amazing things out there in the field right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So as far as, Chattanooga, Nashville, those people who've lost everything, how are they sheltering when they've lost everything? How's the government or organizations responding to help them get in a safe place?
Yeah, well, in Chattanooga, that transition to the recovery phase is beginning to take place. And what's happening mostly in situations like that is people end up going off to relatives' house, especially when the house is going to be demoed and destroyed. But yeah, it's a unique situation. The shelter situation, it's just not the normal thing that you would see during a hurricane or during a tornado. You just can't do a lot of the things you would normally do. And but the thing that we have seen, and which is really awesome, is just the people's hearts to volunteer, people donating, the plethora of resources that are coming out. In the midst of crisis, what's in you is going to come out, good or bad. Yeah. And so, you see the bad things come out of people, things like looting. That's not happening right now, but we've seen that in past disasters. Yeah. What we're seeing in the Tennessee area is just great, amazing people in churches really rising to the occasion, making sacrifices. It's a time when people don't have a lot of extra money to donate, but people are being extra generous. And that is it's an amazing thing to watch and see and be a part of.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, I know that when we experienced Florence here, I know you were here for that as well.
It was terrible.
Yeah, you just see though that the brightness, the light has to shine brighter when darkness comes. So it's encouraging to see, even in the midst. And just I think it's important for us right now to not diminish what's happening, but to also keep perspective and look for the good. Because it is easy for us to only focus on the bad. So
yeah, very true.
So if somebody wanted to engage or support the work that you're doing, what are the ways that they can do that?
Well, really, my whole thing is we need boots on the ground. We always need more volunteers. And, normally, we charge for our online training just to cover our costs there. We're just giving this away free right now because we just want more volunteers out there. And we want people also equipped in their own communities to
Mhm.
be able to respond to their own crisis. Everybody's, people are losing their jobs, and, people are, scattered around the nation, going through their own events. And really this training will help you navigate these times overall. It will give you a hope-filled perspective, and will give you practical tools on how to respond to COVID-19, even in your own home, and how to minister to your loved ones and to your neighbors and whatnot. But yeah, you can go online, take the online training for free right now. It will make you a cry responder. And, there's another step or two to actually deploy. We require a background check. But you could do that right now. And I'm telling you, why we're all at home and we're kind of stuck, because that's one of the things we heard in the past. Well, I'm just trying to set aside 10 hours, so I can do the training course. Now's a perfect time to do it. And,
Right.
we don't get to pick and choose when disaster comes to our own hometown, but we can choose how we're going to respond. And this is a great way to get the tools in your tool belt to be able to be effective
Mhm.
and to be able to love well and to represent Jesus in the midst of any type of crisis. So
That's awesome. And I know that you also have that opportunity where people can text chaplain if they need prayer. Is that right?
that's right. You can text the word chaplains to the number 51555, and we have chaplains standing by. You just fill out like 3 or 4 questions. What's a good time to contact you? It can be completely anonymous, and people will pray with you. If you need prayer, if you are dealing with COVID-19 or somebody in your family is dealing with that, we'd love to pray with you. Really anything at all in this period of time. We have people who are trained professionals to be able to do that with you. So absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing, taking the time. I know you're very busy during this time, so I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. And I hope that more people will just be aware of the good work that you're doing all across the world, and that more people will be able to get trained and be able to bless their own communities wherever they are, because there's never been a better time to get trained in crisis than now. So.
Mm. Well, Emma, I really appreciate what you do. And yeah, it has been a busy time, but I just love what you're doing, how you're bringing people together, ministries together, churches together, communities together. It's really awesome. And I appreciate you. And
Yeah.
thanks for having me on.